Have you ever looked at the person sleeping beside you and suddenly felt afraid? Not because they hurt you, not because they shouted at you, but because deep inside your soul, something whispered, that is not a human being. The night I discovered my wife wasn't human was the same night she told me she was pregnant. It started raining heavily. I sat frozen on the edge of my bed, staring at the pregnancy test in my wife's trembling hands. Positive. 2 red lines. My heart should have been filled with joy. Instead, I felt terror. Because 3 hours earlier, I had seen my wife peel off her own skin. My name is Daniel. And this is my story. 2 years ago, I met the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. Her name was Selene. I met her at a bookstore during a blackout. Funny enough, everyone else was complaining about the darkness, but she was smiling. Not normal smiling. More like, she enjoyed darkness. That should have been my first warning. But love has a way of blinding people. Especially lonely people. And I was lonely. Very lonely. Selene was different from every woman I had ever met. She listened deeply. She remembered every tiny detail. She laughed softly like she was learning how humans laughed from observation. At first, I thought it was cute. Now I know better. We dated for 6 months. Everything moved fast. Too fast. She hated crowded places. Never used social media. Never talked about her family. And anytime I asked about her childhood, she changed the topic immediately. But love can make red flags look pink. So I ignored everything. Then we got married. And that's when the strange things began. The first incident happened 3 weeks after our wedding. I woke up around 2 a.m. and noticed Selene wasn't in bed. I searched the apartment. Kitchen? Empty. Living room? Empty. Bathroom? Empty. Then I heard something from the balcony. A strange clicking sound. Like metal scratching against glass. I stepped closer quietly. And froze. Selene was standing completely still. Facing the moon. Not moving. Not blinking. Then suddenly, her neck twisted backward. Not slowly. Not humanly. I'm talking full rotation. Like an owl. I nearly screamed. But before I could react, she snapped her neck back normally and smiled. "Daniel," she said calmly. "Why are you shaking?" I laughed nervously. "You scared me." She stared at me for a long second. Then she said something I'll never forget. "You humans frighten easily." Humans? Not people. Humans? I should have run that night. But I didn't. Because the next morning, she acted completely normal. And somehow, she always made me doubt myself. Weeks passed. Then came the second incident. I lost my job. The company downsized. I came home devastated. Selene hugged me tightly and whispered, "Do not worry. Weak males lose positions all the time." Weak males? Who talks like that? I pulled away. "What do you mean weak males?" She blinked. Then smiled awkwardly. "I meant, men. Human men." Again. Human. That word. Like she was separating herself from us. From me. Things became worse after that. At night, I'd wake up and see her standing over me. Watching me sleep. Not moving. Just staring. One night I pretended to be asleep. And I heard her whisper. Heartbeat stable. Body temperature normal. My blood ran cold. Who talks about their husband like laboratory equipment? I started investigating her secretly. And what I found made my stomach twist. There was no record of her childhood. No primary school. No university. No birth certificate. Nothing. It was like she appeared from nowhere 3 years ago. Like someone created her identity overnight. I confronted her immediately. She didn't even panic. She simply sat down calmly and asked, "Do you love me?" That question annoyed me. Stop changing the topic. "Do you love me, Daniel?" I shouted, "Yes." She looked relieved. Then she whispered, "Good." That night, she cooked my favorite meal. She smiled more than usual. She touched me gently. And for one moment, I convinced myself I was paranoid. Maybe trauma. Maybe stress. Maybe I was overthinking everything. Then at exactly 3:13 a.m., I woke up thirsty. And saw the bathroom light on. The door was slightly open. I walked toward it. And heard a wet tearing sound. I pushed the door slowly. And my entire reality shattered. Selene stood in front of the mirror, peeling skin off her face. Not makeup. Skin. Like someone removing a mask. Underneath was something dark, smooth, hairless. Its eyes were completely black. No pupils. No whites. Just endless darkness. I couldn't breathe. The creature looked up slowly, then smiled using Selene's voice. Daniel, you were not supposed to see this yet. I ran. I don't even remember reaching the living room. My chest felt like it would explode. Then suddenly, she appeared in front of me. Impossible. 1 second she was in the bathroom. The next second she stood by the door. No footsteps. No sound. Nothing. Please calm down, she said softly. I grabbed a lamp and pointed it at her. What are you? And for the first time since I met her, Selene looked sad. Not fake sad. Real sad. I am your wife. No. No, you're not. She sighed slowly, then said, my species studied humans for many years. I was sent here to observe your kind. I nearly vomited. Observe us. She nodded. But then, something went wrong. What? She looked directly into my eyes. I fell in love with you. Silence. Heavy silence. Rain crashed outside. I laughed like a madman. You expect me to believe this nonsense? She stepped closer. You think I wanted this? Love is not normal for my species. My hands shook violently. All this time, you lied to me. Yes. Was any of it real? She paused. Then tears formed in her eyes. Yes. And somehow, that answer hurt the most. Because I believed her. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? I sat with a knife until morning while she stayed quietly in the corner, watching me sadly. Around sunrise, she finally spoke. There is something else. My heart sank. What now? She lowered her eyes. I am pregnant. Everything inside me stopped. No. No, 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 no. That's impossible. It is not. I felt sick. What exactly is inside you? She whispered. Our child. Our child. I couldn't process it. Was it human? Alien? A monster? Would it even survive? Questions attacked my brain endlessly. Then suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Hard. Aggressive. Bang. 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 Selene's face changed instantly. Fear. Real fear. They found me. Who found you? She looked terrified. My people. The knocking became louder. Selene. Open the door. The voice outside sounded distorted. Not human. My blood froze. Selene grabbed my hand tightly. If they take me, they will kill the baby. I stepped back immediately. How do I even know that things should live? That sentence broke her. I saw pain crush her face. Then softly, she said, because it is half you. Silence. Another violent bang shook the apartment. The door cracked. And suddenly, something burst through. Tall. Black-eyed. Not wearing human skin. 3 creatures entered slowly. One of them looked directly at me. Human male, it said coldly. You were never meant to know. I couldn't move. Fear locked my body. Selene stood in front of me protectively. She stays, she said. The creature tilted its head. You have become emotionally corrupted. Then another one spoke. The hybrid must be terminated. Hybrid. They were talking about the baby. Selene screamed. No. And chaos exploded. One creature lunged at her. Furniture shattered. Walls cracked. Their speed was terrifying. Not human speed. I crawled backward in horror. Then one creature grabbed me by the throat. Its black eyes stared into mine. Humans destroy everything they touch, it hissed. Suddenly. Snap. Selene broke its arm instantly. The creature screamed. And for the first time, I realized something horrifying. Selene was stronger than all of them. She wasn't hiding because she was weak. She was hiding because she loved me enough not to hurt me. The fight intensified. Glass exploded everywhere. Then one creature pulled out a glowing blade aimed directly at Selene's stomach. At the baby. Without thinking, I jumped in front of her. The blade pierced my shoulder. Pain exploded through my body. Selene screamed louder than anything I've ever heard. And what happened next still gives me nightmares. Her eyes turned completely white. The entire apartment shook violently. Every light burst. The creatures froze in fear. One whispered. She evolved. Then Selene unleashed something impossible. A force slammed the creatures through the wall like paper. Silence followed. Heavy silence. I collapsed bleeding. Selene rushed to me crying. Real tears. Warm tears. Why would you protect me? She whispered. I stared at her weakly. Because despite everything, despite the lies, despite the fear, despite what she was, I loved her. And maybe that made me crazy too. 3 months later, Selene disappeared. No goodbye. No warning. Just gone. But she left one note. I left to protect you both. One day, when he is older, he will come find you. He. A boy. I read that note 1,000 times. At first, I thought maybe it was over. Maybe I could move on. Then yesterday happened. I was walking home from work when a little boy crossed the road toward me. Maybe 6 years old. Impossible. He looked up at me and smiled. And my entire body froze. Because I recognized those eyes. Completely black. The boy tilted his head and said softly, "Hello, Dad. So tell me honestly, if the love of your life turned out not to be human, but they genuinely loved you, would you stay? Or would you run?" If this story gave you chills and you want a part 2, kindly comment "The boy is coming." Subscribe. Thanks for watching.